I believe in the power of love. How about you? What do you imagine love to be? So when you think about love, how do you imagine it? Flushed cheeks, pitter-patter of your heart? Or when you imagine love, do you imagine something deeper? Like that sense of well-being. Maybe when you think of love, you feel that connection that you have for one another. Maybe when you imagine love, you imagine a world where we stand next to one another in peace, in joy, singing, dancing. In my world of love, there's lots of dancing going on. What do you imagine when you imagine love? Charles Fillmore, who's the co-founder of Unity, described love as the pure essence of being that binds together the whole human family. Of all the attributes of God, love is undoubtedly the most beautiful. The most beautiful. In Unity, we are founded on this principle that whatever God is, we are. And so if we say that God is love, then that means that you are love, that we are love. The question is, do we have the courage to imagine what it would mean if we were to live as the love that we are? As Valentine's Day approaches, I want to encourage you to give yourself the best Valentine's gift. The best Valentine's gift to the world is you. You are the gift. You. God gave you to the world so that you could be the gift. So imagine the world that we could create if we could be the gift. If we could be the love that the world sees. As I was thinking about this lesson, I've done lots and lots of lessons around love. Love is probably like my favorite topic. And I truly believe it's the only reason I'm here, is to love. Is to love and to be loved. And so, I'm thinking, what can I say that's new? Like, what can I say that's different? What can I say that we don't already know, but that will motivate us to somehow be more conscious as we show up as love in the world? And I ran across this card that our photographer sent to us. And it says, through hands we serve. Through serving, we love. Through loving, we create. And all week long, I kept coming back to that card. Through hands, we serve. The interesting thing about love is the letter I isn't in it. It's not really about what I want. It's not really about what I can do to make things better. It's not really about I having the greatest idea. Love instead has O in the center of it, a circle, a symbol of oneness. In fact, Charles Fillmore taught that love is actually very impersonal. He says, it loves for the sake of loving. It is not concerned with what or who it loves, nor with the return of love, but like the sun, its joy is in the shining forth of its nature. Love loves for the sake of loving. What would it be like if we just showed up as love? Without expectation, without thinking we were going to get something in return, but just because it's who we are. What would that look like? To show up impersonal, to take the I out of it, and to simply serve love. Now, serve gets kind of a bad rap sometimes. We think of subservient, or we think of servant, right? And we don't really think about what it means to serve something. Serve is about attending to. To serve something is to attend to it, to pay attention to it, to have a discharge or a duty towards something. And so to serve love would mean that we would attend to love. That when we're in a situation and instead of thinking, what do I want to get out of this? How can I win? And I'm a deep competitor. I like winning. How can I win? How can I make this work out? What if we could stop and say, what would love do now? What would love do? If I showed up as love, what would love do now? I can tell you that my experience of this is sometimes what love would do is keep her mouth shut. Like the most loving, kind thing I can do is nothing. It's absolutely nothing. So sometimes love has to keep her mouth shut. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4 is probably something that you will see all over Valentine's Day cards this year. You've probably heard it thousands of times at weddings. But it is a reminder to us of what it would look like if we attended to love. If we paid attention to love. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It's not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. To serve love means that we love first. We love in the middle, and we love last. When we can do nothing else, we love. We simply love. Through serving, we love. We are a demonstration of love. How do you demonstrate love in your everyday life? What does it mean to be the expression of love that you've been called to? For some of us, it's taking a friend to the doctor. For some of us, it's smiling at the grocery store attendant, saying hello to a stranger, or inviting a new friend to sit with us during church. It doesn't have to be a big action. It only has to be an action that comes from your heart. See, love is not passive. Love's not about sitting still and doing nothing, but thinking wonderful thoughts. Well, that's okay too. But love through us is an action. It's about serving the world, serving ourselves, serving each other in community. Charles wrote, in Divine Mind, love is the power that joins and binds in divine harmony the universe and everything in it. The great harmonizing principle known to man. You know, it's an interesting thing when we think about oneness, we get that confused with sameness. And oneness is not the same as sameness. Okay? The thing about oneness is that at our core, we were all created in the image of God. Now, in case you haven't looked in the mirror today, you can look right here. You notice that both Michael and I have been created in the image of God. His image is a lot cuter than mine. We are the same, but we are also different. We're different for a reason, because of harmony. Did you notice how beautiful the children's blessing was this morning when they sang it in harmony? You know, the beauty of harmony isn't that one voice overpowers the other. The beauty of harmony isn't that everybody's singing the same note. The beauty of harmony is that the voices blend together. Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines harmony in one of its many definitions as an interweaving of different accounts into a single narrative. An interweaving. You see, we all look different. We're in different bodies, different skin color, different hair. Some of us have different preferences. I like sushi. You might like cheeseburgers, right? We have different preferences. But the beauty of that is that when we take those stories and we weave them together, what a beautiful, rich tapestry we create. And so to live as the love that you are requires not that you treat everybody the same, but that instead you embrace them and acknowledge them and honor them for exactly who they are. And that you allow yourself to be woven together in friendship, in the love of God, so that you become part of a beautiful tapestry of oneness. That's how it works. That's how we become the love that we were meant to be. Through loving, we create. Everything we do, I was taught by my guru, affects the next 7 generations. Think of that. Everything that you do affects the next 7 generations. Maybe we'd be a little kinder to each other if we knew that when we are kind to that grumpy sales associate, they go home and they're a little kinder to their child, who grows up to be a little kinder to their friends, who grow up to be a little kinder to their spouses and to their bosses and to their coworkers. There's this story about a mother who had a child that was a little odd, a little different. And because he was a little different, looked a little different, acted a little different, you know, kids loved to pick on him. And there was this one boy in the school in particular who just tormented this child. And the mother, she just didn't know what to do. You know, should she call the school and get the child in trouble? And, you know, what should she do to protect her son? You know, they didn't teach him to go to school to fight, but to go to school and try to be friends with everyone. And the boy comes home sobbing one day, and his coat's been taken. The bully's taken his brand new winter coat from him. The mother decided it's time to do something. So she thought about it. And she asked herself, What does this child need? Why would a child steal a coat? Why would a child be so cruel to another child? What would love do now? So she went to the store, she called the school, and she talked to the teacher of the child. She went to the store, and the very next day, she showed up at the school with a brand new coat. She asked to speak to the young man, and the young man came over and, of course, was embarrassed and trying to be tough, And she says, I thought you might need a coat. And that perhaps if I bought you a new coat, you would return my son's so that he would have a coat. I want you to know that I hear that you have a need. And that you don't ever need to take anything from anyone ever again. Whatever you need, my number is right here. You call me. Whatever you need, I will make sure that you have it. There is another way to be, and I can show you. Not only did that young man not ever take any more coats, he became the hero and the champion of this other child, not allowing the other kids to pick on him and standing up for him. And he became a part of that family because he did indeed reach out to that woman when he needed things. And she made sure that he had everything that he needed to be at school. And they grew up to be fast friends. That child's life was changed forever because of love. Because of love. So you never know. You never know when you say hello to someone that is not the worst day of their life and they've decided they don't matter. And a simple hello changes everything. Love is the great healer and harmonizer. That means we are healers and harmonizers. We already have within us everything we need to create harmony in the world. We just have to be willing, courageous enough to take the action. Can you imagine a world where everyone did a random act of kindness every day? Can you imagine the impact that would have on the world? If everyone did one kind thing every day, we would see wars end. We'd see poverty end. We'd see people quit fighting. We might start acting like the human race that we really are, the oneness that we really are, the brothers and sisters that we really, really are. Loving creates. It creates a vibration. And that vibration has the potential to grow exponentially and wrap around this world. It only takes action from us. That you are the gift of love to the world is without question. How you choose to use that gift is a totally different matter. And if you're not sure what your gift is, I'm going to invite you to come back next Sunday because we're going to talk about the gifts of love and what they are and how we use them in the world, because you all have one. For today, will you have the courage to imagine love? The courage to imagine that you are the gift of love to the world. For God so loved the world that he gave his child. You. All of you. All of you. He gave you to the world. What will you do with this most precious gift that you've been given. Infinite love and gratitude to all of you.